Harry, you came in to take over from Liam Buckley, who left the club last year. He'd been there for 7 years. Did you feel you had to make a huge amount of changes going into the club?
Not a huge amount. There was 7 to 8 lads that had signed back prior to me arriving, which I was delighted about. It was obviously less work for me. But I've taken in another 7 or 8 lads as well, new signings from around the league, which I'm very pleased about and delighted with the support from the club.
And I suppose just the model of the club, the way the St. Pat's play football, we know under Liam they would have played really attacking brand of football. Is that something you'd like to continue on as well?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I played an attacking brand of football with Bray as well, and I'm sort of cut from the same cloth as Liam was, because I played with Liam many years ago with Rovers, and then I was assistant manager there of 2013 when we won the league, so we're sort of cut from the same cloth, and yeah, I'll be playing a decent brand of football.
You mentioned Bray there. You were going really well with Bray, and we know all about the problems off the field, but you got them into the European places. I suppose you've just shown what you can do with a particular squad. Do you think you have the squad of players there now at St. Pat's where you can break into that top 4 and get a European place?
I hate making predictions, and I can say to you that the usual boring stuff that we're going to try and finish as high as possible, but I'd like to think with the players we're after signing and the ones that have stayed around from previous seasons, we have a squad well capable of challenging at the top end, yeah.
Obviously the big name signing this year has been Chris Forrester. How did you know he was maybe on your radar, and how did you convince him to come back to Dublin?
It wasn't too difficult, if I'm honest with you. I've been talking to Chris over the last number of months. I've been keeping an eye on him. I've noticed he hadn't been playing with Aberdeen. He had a good season with Peterborough season before that, but when he went to Aberdeen, he wasn't doing so well. So I spoke to him on the phone a couple of times, and it was difficult enough to get him out because Aberdeen didn't want to let him out. But in the end, not that he forced his way out, he just wanted to come home and be happy again and start playing football, and we were delighted that he came our way.
We saw in his previous spells with Pats and with Bows how brilliant he can be as a player. You know, what is it about Chris Forrester that makes him so special?
He's fantastic ability on the ball. He sees passes. He's a good dribbler of the ball. He's a technician. He's very, very good, and he's a great creator of chances. And he's not a bad goal scorer himself. So, yeah, he's got everything a footballer could have. We're just trying to improve his fitness at the minute. He hasn't had too much game time at Aberdeen, so we're getting there with him, but we're delighted to have him.
You obviously have an eye for young talent as well yourself, Harry. Are there any young players you'd like to think could make a big impact with the club this season?
Yeah, there's a couple of lads in there, yeah. Darragh Markey's already made an impact and he's gone well. James Dillon is only a young lad. Kieran Kelly, a big centre-back that we signed from Drogheda. So, yeah, there's plenty of young lads coming through. The academy is very good at Pats, like Ger O'Brien runs the academy and is doing a great job, and they were very successful last year through the age groups, so there's plenty of players coming through.
And you yourself, do you feel around the club there is a sense of expectation, that there's a real, you know, that the fans are really expecting something big from the club this year?
I think so. They're very good fans. They're patient fans. I've noticed that over the last 2 years they've been very patient, and they appreciate the work that I'm doing and the coaches are doing. And yeah, there is a bit of an expectation. I'm trying to dampen that down a little bit, but you've no chance.
Yeah. And look, it's great to get a home game to kick off the season, but you're playing against Cork, who have been competing for the title for the last 4 or 5 seasons. Is it possible to get a good start against them?
Of course it is, yeah. We're at home. It'll be a nice marker on where we are a little bit, and you know, you can play as many friendlies as you want, but when the real thing comes around, I think that tells you where you're going to be, you know. So we'll see how we get on.
Best of luck for the season, Harry. Thank you.
Thanks very much.